Making money in Hypixel Skyblock is hard, and I get that. So in this video, I'm going to be helping you how you can find the right money making method for you that you can go grind it and make tons of money. Because as we all know, having a good, reliable money making method is a key to making as much money as possible. So, what are we waiting for? Let's jump right into the video. So I'm going to be splitting this video into 3 main parts, and each section is going to be built and focused around helping you find the correct money making method for you personally. So in Skyblock, it's a completely open game and there's tons of money making opportunities for you and methods which you can actually use. And the question is, well, which ones should you actually use and which ones is actually good or not? And I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, then you somewhat have a decent knowledge of relatively common money making methods that exist in the game currently already. So the first factor in helping you choose the correct money making method for you is simply just progression of the game that you're currently in, and this comprises of things like levels, skills, and how much money you actually have. All I'm really trying to say here is that you should be choosing a money making method that's appropriate to the kind of progression that you're in. So for example, if you're just a player with like a Skyblock level 100, then the likelihood that you're going to be able to grind ghosts really efficiently and make tons of money is pretty slim. And the same goes for the other way around. If you're Skyblock level like 300, then A, you have no life, and B, there's no point choosing a money making method like killing treasure hoarders because it's just an absolute waste of your time. Obviously, you should have goals set in your mind about what money making methods you should want to be doing, but you should also be realistic with yourself in terms of thinking that obviously if your Catacom's 24, then trying to run F7 and trying to make like 10 million coins an hour probably isn't the right thing to do. You need to be good enough to be able to do your money making method quickly and efficiently whilst it also not being a complete waste of time. However, that being said, there are a couple of money making methods which are just universal, which all kind of progression in the game can actually do. And to me, the 2 most obvious ones are bazaar flipping and auction flipping, because you can be any stage of the game like early or late game or even end game, and you can be making tons of money by doing auction flipping for instance. But those 2 are just good examples of money making methods which are just completely good regardless of what progression of the game you're in. And just a brief intermission here, if you're enjoying the video and finding it helpful, then please consider liking the video and subscribing. It only takes 2 seconds of your time, so thank you. Anyways, I don't want to waste any more of your time, so let's get back into the video. So now we move to, in my opinion, the second factor in choosing what money making method you should do, and that is choosing a money making method which you can actually do yourself. And I'm not talking about progression or anything like that. I'm talking about what you can physically do with your computer and how much setup time is required, how much you need to play if you have bad internet and stuff like that. This is actually something a lot of people overlook when they're choosing money making method, and I've got a good example for this, and that is gemstone mining. In my situation, when I play Skyblock, I only really play for like half an hour to maybe like 45 minutes max, just because that's really just how much time I actually have. And I'm not really one of those players who can easily just sit down for 5 hours and just play Skyblock for 5 hours straight. That's why for me, I don't personally like a money making method which requires tons and tons of setup. For me personally, I just want a quick money making method that I can just hop onto the computer and quickly just do it for a bit with like 1 to 2 minutes of setup time ideally, and still make a pretty decent amount of money whilst doing it. Another money making method that I really find success with is just like simple bazaar flipping. So for instance, every day you just log on for like 10 minutes, just make some flips and do some stuff and refill orders and things like that. And each time you gain around 1 to 2 million coins. And although you can only do this maybe like once every 6 hours or something, it's still a really easy way to make some really good profit. Now the second problem, which I see a lot of people, is the ping and quite often just pure internet connection problem. Now if you've been to my streams, you probably know that I crash probably on average like 1 to 2 times per stream. For example, if you have really bad internet, then it can actually be a good idea to not choose a money making method with a lot of setup. For instance, gemstone mining, because there's no point just spending loads and loads of setup time if you're just going to get disconnected half the time anyways. That way, if you get disconnected, no problem, just get back in it and start mining again or doing whatever you want to do. And dungeons, when you have around 3000 ping, also really isn't fun either. Anyways, with that said, let's move on to the third and final section of the video. And so, the last factor for choosing your favorite money making method is just going to be simply how much enjoyment you actually get out of doing that money making method or doing whatever you want to do. For me, this is actually the most important thing by far when it comes to choosing your money making method, because ultimately you're playing a game and you want to have fun. So why would you spend time on a money making method you don't actually enjoy? That just doesn't make sense to me. Although you might be a really early game and you want to get into like master mode floor dungeons to make lots of profit, if that's something you actually find fun, then I recommend just trying to play dungeons and doing whatever you like, and trying to work towards actually being able to do that floor, because that's how you're actually going to get most enjoyment out of the game. For me personally, the two things that I probably enjoy most about playing Skyblock is probably dungeons, specifically floor 7 at the moment. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And second, mithril mining, which is why I actually don't really do a whole lot of gemstone mining. I just much prefer mithril mining. I don't really know why, and I can't really explain it, but you know, everyone has their different opinions. There's good things about every single money making method, and ultimately it just comes down to what you enjoy in the game. Heck, if you even want to sell all of your stuff and just become an AH flipping non, then you know, I mean, I'm not stopping you. And anyways, that's the last of the 3 sections, so we're just going to do a little bit of a quick conclusion now. Just to quickly summarize the video, in my opinion, there's 3 main parts choosing what money making method that you should do the most. The first is deciding it based on the progression of the game you are in the moment and how much money you have to spend and your skills. The second is external factors, like how much time you can actually play the game at once, how good your internet and internet problems are, and things like how good your ping is. And then finally, the last thing is how much you enjoy doing that money making method, because ultimately, if you're not enjoying playing Skyblock, then I mean, you might as well just switch games at this point. And in my opinion, don't listen to what other people say, just do whatever money making method that you really like and enjoy. And with that, that's gonna wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, or I helped you find your best money making method, then if you want to become a cool gamer and get a Necron's handle in your next run, definitely valid, then you should subscribe, because subscribing is cool. Also, if you want to join my Discord server, we host like 15 million, 20 million coin giveaways every single week on there, so you don't want to miss out on that. Link is in the description. So, thank you very much for watching until the end of this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, grinding those Skyblock coins and getting rich.